Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Hi, everyone.
Today we're tackling something pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah.
We're looking at a text called Part 2, The Lies Society Tells You, about b.txt.
Okay.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'm already intrigued just by that title.
It sounds a little bit ominous, I think.
It does sound a bit ominous, right?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of lies is society telling us about being?
Exactly. And why are they telling us these lies, right? What's the point?
Yeah, so we're going to dive into this text, and we're going to see what we can uncover about being and maybe debunk some of these lies.
Sounds good to me. I'm ready.
All right, let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
So one of the lies that really stood out to me was lie number 4.
Oh, yeah.
Being alone means you failed at relationships.
Right.
And I feel like this is something that's pretty pervasive in our culture.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, there's this idea that if you're not in a relationship,
They're not complete.
you're not
Yeah.
successful,
Yeah.
you're a failure.
Right. Like you're missing out on something.
Exactly.
And I think it's important to remember that, relationships can be wonderful and fulfilling.
Yeah.
But they're not the be-all and end-all of existence, right? There's so much more to life than just being in a relationship.
Absolutely.
And in fact, I would argue that one of the best things you can do for your relationships is to actually cultivate a strong relationship with yourself.
So it's like that saying, you can't love someone else until you love yourself.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And that really ties into lie number 6.
Oh, okay.
Your worth is defined by your social life.
Right.
So it's like, if you're not out there every night,
Going to parties.
meeting people, making connection,
Being seen. Yeah.
then you're somehow less valuable.
Right. And it's like this constant pressure to be, the life of the party.
Yeah.
To have a million friends.
Yeah.
To be doing all the things all the time.
And I think social media really exacerbates that.
Oh, absolutely.
You're constantly seeing these curated versions of people's lives.
The highlight reel.
Yeah. And it's easy to feel like you're not measuring up.
Right. And it's important to remember that, social media is just a snapshot.
Yeah.
It's not the whole picture.
Right.
And your worth is not defined by how many likes you get or how many followers you have.
It's about who you are as a person.
Exactly.
Your values, your character, your contributions to the world.
Exactly.
So don't let social media or societal pressures dictate your worth.
Right. Know your worth from within.
Exactly.
And that will radiate outwards.
Love that. Okay, so we've talked about the lies that tell us we're failures if we're alone and that our worth is tied to our social life.
Right.
Now let's get into a lie that's maybe a little bit more subtle,
Okay.
but just as insidious.
Okay.
Lie number 5. Alone time should be filled with distractions.
Oh, I see this one all the
Well,
time.
me too.
Yeah.
It's like the moment we find ourselves alone,
We reach for our phones.
we turn on the TV, we put on music.
Anything to avoid silence.
Yeah, it's like we're afraid to just be with our own thoughts.
It's almost like an instinct, right? Like we have to fill the void.
Exactly. And I think there are a few reasons for that.
Okay.
One is that we live in a very noisy world.
Right. Constant stimulation.
Yeah, so silence can feel really jarring and uncomfortable.
Right. It's like our brains are used to being bombarded with information all the time.
Exactly. And another reason is that we're often running from uncomfortable emotions.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to face our fears, our insecurities, our anxieties.
So we distract ourselves.
Exactly. But what if instead of running from those uncomfortable feelings, we actually leaned into them?
That's where mindful solitude comes in.
Mindful solitude. Okay, I've heard that term, but what exactly does it mean?
So mindful solitude is about intentionally choosing to spend time alone
Okay.
without distractions for the purpose of self-reflection, introspection, and personal growth.
So it's not just about being physically alone.
Right.
It's about being mentally and emotionally present with yourself.
Exactly. It's about creating space to connect with your inner self.
And what are the benefits of doing that?
Oh, so many benefits.
Yeah.
First of all, it can help you reduce stress and anxiety
Okay.
because when you're alone with your thoughts, you can actually process them
Yeah.
and work through them instead of just letting them build up inside.
Right.
And it can also help you improve your focus and concentration because
Okay.
you're training your mind to be present
Yeah.
and to resist distractions.
Right.
And it can also boost your creativity.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because when you're not constantly bombarded with information,
Yeah.
your mind has the space to wander and to make new connections.
So it's like giving your brain a chance to breathe
Exactly.
and to come up with new ideas.
Right.
Wow. So mindful solitude is really about tapping into the power of being alone.
That's exactly right.
It's about recognizing that solitude is not something to be feared,
But something to be embraced.
and that it can actually be a source of strength and growth. I love that. So to sum up everything we've talked about today,
Yeah.
being alone doesn't mean you failed at relationships.
Right.
Your worth is not defined by your social life.
Exactly.
And alone time doesn't have to be filled with distractions.
In fact, it shouldn't be.
Instead, we should embrace solitude as an opportunity for self-discovery and personal growth.
Absolutely.
So I want to leave you with this question.
Okay.
How can you incorporate more mindful solitude into your own life?
That's a great question.
Yeah, what small step can you take today to create space for yourself to just be?
To just be.
Yeah, think about it and let us know in the comments.
We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
See you next time.
Bye.